What's up, Gunpla modelers? This is Strider Prime bringing you a new edition of Gundam Models. And hello, how is everyone doing? Summer's officially here. It's nice and hot. Everybody's probably with their AC units on. And I am marveling, of course, at my recent build of the 00 Riser. I have my Valillo paint somewhere around here, my Valillo panel wash, but I need to repaint or do a flat coat over it, or a gloss coat, so I can apply the Valillo without any issues. It's going to take time, I will show it to you, I promise. I really am promising. It's just that, I didn't have that much time. I had to do things, that's why. I should have done it during the course of the build. Yes, I should have. But I kind of do a little reverse. I'm not like everybody else. So, I'm sorry. But that's how it is. But, that is not the reasons why I'm doing this video. Normally I would do a video like this to talk about the questions to the answers that you guys, answers to the questions you guys sent me about 2 weeks ago. But before we begin that, I'd like to say thank you to all my new subscribers that have subscribed to me on YouTube. I have passed the 10,000 mark. A new milestone. Wow. Wow. Thank you. I'd like to thank all of you guys, every one of you guys, for I know many of you have shared my videos, not only on YouTube but on Facebook as well, on my Facebook page at Strider_Prime, and I really appreciate it. I mean, I try. I hate to say this. I whore myself out on Facebook every now and again, and I shouldn't do that. I mean, I should just leave my videos alone and let you guys self-discover it. That is my fault. I think I'm probably going to stop doing that. But I have to show a little love to the channels that that I have. I wish I had the list in front of me. I have to apologize for that. I'm actually not prepared for this. I'm more prepared to the questions to the answers to the questions that you guys sent me. But I will, we'll talk about Facebook pages in a later video. Yeah, in a later video. And of course, I was ready to do a contest. Yes, a contest. But again, I didn't realize that I was going to hit the 10,000 mark so quickly. I thought it was going to be another 2 more months, maybe 3. No, it just hit now. I just recently did 9,000 like a few months ago. It's like, wow, I'm up to 10,000 already? I'm pleased. I'm very, very happy. And again, I will try and do the best I can. Right now, I'm doing my scratch build of my Hulk Ball Buster. That's still a work in progress. That will be for the Gunpla Builders World Cup. I have another kit that I may look into making for the show as well. A nice custom build that I've been thinking about. So these are things that I will definitely look into. But let's begin now. Before, I'm not ready to talk about the contest yet. Give me about a week, and then we'll talk about it. And I'll talk about what we want, and what I want, and the prizes. Excuse me. But first, let's begin with answering the questions that many of you guys asked me a little over 2 weeks ago. And I will answer it the best I possibly can. Okay? So, we will begin with the first question. I'm doing this in reverse, and I apologize. I took screenshots of this. Hopefully I did it right. We begin with second SNDWVE. You didn't do anything wrong, just how the flight mode is on the kit. That's why I don't like that mold that much. Okay, he's responding to my build of the of the Darkhound, Master Grade Darkhound. And yeah, many people, even Prime 92 told me that it's a bitch and a half to transform it into the Strider mode. Next question was from Andre Lee. What was the hardest Master Grade custom you have done so far? Hardest. Let me answer a question with another question. Somebody said to me, I don't do custom paint, my Gundam customs videos is not technically customs, they're just painting my kits. True. That is true. I separated my videos as Gundam models for straight builds, Gundam customs for painted builds, and of course custom jobs. So I'm going to go back with one kit that was the hardest. I would say it would have to be the Destiny, the Master Grade Destiny Gundam, because it was my first time I used not metallic based paint, but metallic based techniques, where you can take a regular normal color, and then I think it was a clear color, or I think it was a metallic color. I forget the technique. It was something that Prime 92 showed on her channel, and it inspired me to do it. And it came out well, but the red parts didn't come out right. It was inconsistent. It didn't look right on how it was formed. So I was disappointed. I wish it could have been done better. That was my one kit that I felt it should have been done better. So my Master Grade Destiny was the hardest. Aaron Panoki says, what is your personal favorite kit you have made thus far, and what is your favorite kit that you may or may not have? Well, I think my favorite kit that I built so far has to be the Gundam Wing Zero Proto Kit, which I built last year. I like how the pre-shading, the decals, the detail that I've done on that kit came out. It came out perfect. Fortunately, it didn't win because because I knew there was something that got messed up there. As to which is my favorite kit that I may or may not have, well, I'll say that my favorite kit, the favorite kit that I don't have is the Infinite Justice Gundam, but I just don't feel like getting it. I don't know why. It's just something about it I don't feel like getting it. That's all. So let's continue. He answered the same question again, so we'll bypass this. Ronald Cottrell says, how do you pick the colors for your paint, and how brands of paint do you like to use, or what kind of brands you want to use? Okay, so basically, yeah, you have to flesh it out. You look at the kit, you say, I wonder what it would look like if the kit was all black. I wonder how the kit looks like if it's all blue. I wonder what it would look like if the kit was all green. And then you try to mix it up. You realize that some kits will have 3 out of 4 different types of color patterns. So you have to figure it out. And then if you get your hands on the actual picture of the kit that you want, line arts that is, you can use MS Paint and paint those on your PC and take a look at it and see if it feels right. Then, since I have a lot of paint and paint bottles, I will of course mix and match and see how it looks, depending on how I feel. What brands I use is basically majority of the brands I've been using has always been Mr. Hobby. But when I do metallics, I use Alaclad 2. Sometimes I use Mr. Hobby as well. I keep acrylic based paint like Tamiya around for specific jobs, which of course acrylic is good to use for beginners, and it's easy to clean up. So that was his question. The next question was, do you use Alaclad 2 paints, and do you thin them? I use Alaclad 2 paints, yes, but they come pre-thinned, which of course Anthony Pagano answered his question. Thank you, Anthony. Next question from Christopher Martins. Have you ever hit a point where you wanted to take a break from Gunpla? If so, what brought you back What brought back a specific kit or just time? Good question. Very good question. I built a lot of model kits in my time. You could pretty much say my first 10 to 20 years of my life was always building like regular kits. Tanks, boats, planes, all that stuff. And then of course it segged into Gundam kits. And at the time it was like, I think the last Gundam kit I built was, I think it was the, what the heck was that? It was the Heavy Arms. It was a, no, not the Heavy Arms, excuse me, it was the Wing Zero custom. But the no grade one. Remember the 1/100 scale no grade that they released back in the 90s? And for good, I decided to stop because at that time I was working. Actually, no, I lost the job and I was unemployed for a year or so. And then I finally got a job back, but I was more concentrated on work and doing things right that I decided not to get into model building again. What brought me back was I dated a girl, not Prime 92, that is. I dated a girl back in the day who was into model building. She was she loved building. Actually, what was her style? She liked building cars. That's right, because she was a big stock car fan, and I was not a big fan myself. But going into the hobby store with her, that's when I started seeing Gundam kits again, and it just renewed my interest. So it was because of her that I got into it. We broke up, of course, a few months later. It didn't turn out well, but it was because of her that got me into it. Now, next question. What is your job and profession? From Vic Vapors. I try to keep my anonymity personal to me. Things that are personal to me secret. So that's a question that I will not answer. I'm very sorry, Vic. I apologize. Sleepwalker 4 with a 4 in Sleepwalker with a 4 inside his name. How many Gundams do you have, and what is your favorite? Well, Jesus, how many Gundams I have? I'll be here forever. I should have prepared myself for this. Let's just say I don't hold a candle to Prime 92's collection. She surpasses me tenfolds. But what is your favorite kit? I would have to say the Perfect Grade Unicorn Gundam. There you go. What is your favorite Gundam kit, and what got you into Gundam model? That was the same question that was asked before by Ichigolo, Ichigolo. What was your favorite Gundam kit? Okay, I'm sorry. What was your very first Gundam kit? I'm sorry, I didn't read that properly. High grade 144 scale Zeta Gundam, non-transformable version that came out back in the mid 80s, mid to early 80s, and I got that when I went to a place in New York City called Forbidden Planet. I love that kit. I wish I could go back and get it. And then when I got into Gundam model, well, because of what got into Gundam model was it was that. You're right. What was your first Gunpla that you attempted to paint? Good question from Black Heel 711. High grade Tallgeese 3. Original. Not the there was never a high they never remade a high grade version of the Tallgeese. But yeah, the high grade Tallgeese 3. Using I think I was using tester paints. The enamel ones from the bottle, those little bottle things. I was using that, and I was using a brush, and I was painting the backpack, which was all blue. Didn't come out right. It's considering that I was not very good at that. Actually, I was not very good at painting at all back when I was a kid. But even after years passed, I wasn't good at it. But then that's how it all changed when I went to airbrushing. Next one is from I'll see if I can pronounce your name. Faisala Shashtari, and I'll spell it out. Faisal. Last name Shashtari. When are you going to do another diorama build? My first attempt of a diorama build was not the best, you could say. I have to apologize on that. It was a great, worthy attempt. and I realize it takes a lot of time. It's not something you can build within a day. Hell, you know, my building time has always been 2 to 3 weeks on a high grade if I'm painting it, 4 weeks tops for me building a master grade. But then again, it's also sometimes 3 weeks depending on how my workflow is. And it took me 2 months to build that perfect grade. But to build a diorama, you really need to put a lot of effort, a lot of work, and a lot of parts and scratch and all that stuff. I have a lot for my current scratch build, but to do a diorama, it's a whole new level. So it's going to be a long time before I do one. I know I promised that I was going to do another one, but no, I can't do one now. So the next question here from Jose Osario says, what model kit do you hope Bandai does next for your real grade series? Oh, okay, good question. We already know that the Astray, the red frame, is coming out. I hope that the next one, which will hopefully will be announced in a few months for November, December, will be a kit from the excuse me, will be a kit from the Wing series. Since we all remember last year that they were going to do all 5 mobile suits from the Gundam Wing Meteor, from Operation Meteor. So I said this, but Prime said no, they're going to do this. I think they're going to probably do the Death Cycle custom. That's my interpretation that they're going to do. So I mean, that's not set in stone. They all pretty much do a 180, but yeah, that's what I think. T Gundam Samurai says, are you going to collaborate with Prime 92 again? A lot of people remembered that, and I've asked Prime in the past. Unfortunately, she says no. She does not want to do it. She's not. She rather build the kit. I mean, rather display the kit already built than building it. She's not a big fan of building it on camera. And I'm not going to force her or, pout. I have to respect her request. So no, I don't think we'll do. We'll probably do like video collaborations on maybe some updates or news. That's if she's in the mood, or if I'm in the mood, or if something amazing is being announced. So that's my phone. So I'm sorry, guys. So I cannot say that we'll probably do it in the future, but I will honestly say no. She doesn't want to do a collaboration build with me, and I'm not going to, I'm not sad or anything. I have to respect her wishes. Good old Sutan 629. He was kind enough to send me pretty much the commandments of questions that you can see here. And I am going to ask, well, I should have said, I did say this in the beginning, and clearly Sutan was not listening. 1 question per person. So I'm going to answer 1 question. Since you were the 14th person on the list of people who were sending me, in the list of questions, of people asking me questions, I'm going to answer the number 14th question that you have listed here. Sorry, Sutan. Let's see what it says here. What do you think is the fate of the Master Grade age lineup? We almost have all, and a few years ago, we got the prototype H3 normal. We got, the H3 normal, and the age FX Master Grade. What do you think happened to those? Do you think we'll ever get them actually re-released along with H1 Fulgurancia, Orbital, Fortress, and FX Burst? That feels like that's more than 1 question in 1 question, but I'll answer that. I have no idea. I'm not Bandai. I wish I was. Yes, granted, we did remember seeing the prototypes, and I am a bit curious as why we haven't seen it yet. Maybe Bandai has not felt it was necessary to release that. Maybe the feedback was not there. Remember, everything is all based on feedback. They always do those little surveys. In Japan, I think I remember there was a massive survey of which Master Grade they wanted, and one of them, they put the O in there, and the majority wanted the O, and sure enough, they made the Master Grade O. So if they do a survey again and put, FX or H3 normal in there, that'll be nice, that'll be great, but I have no idea. As for the others, full Glantia, no. Again, Glantia, I don't think it'll be there as a. It's not that popular. H3 orbital, that is popular. I don't think about Fortress that much, but orbital, yes. So if they decide to do the normal orbital, will probably be coming afterwards. And as for the FX burst, no, because it's basically the FX either way. So you're not gonna. They may do that as a combo. Who knows? Who knows? So that's your only question, Sutan. Sorry. Next, Luis Moya says, "Can you lend me some of your kits?" Smiley face. No. Zyclone 950 says, "Are you going to do a metallic paint job on the rest of the EW kits, Sandrock, Heavy Arms, Shenlong, and when? Also, just a suggestion, since you have the Master Grade Decycle EW, can you make a recast of the missing parts of the Master Grade Decycle EW, since they are pretty much the same mold, only if you have the resin and stuff like that?" Okay, good question, good question. I did mention a long time ago that I was going to do that, but I've been slowly thinking of not doing it. But now that you're reminding me again, I may decide to do it. I haven't built none of those Master Grade wing kits. And I don't have the Decycle anymore. I sold that a long time ago. I don't have that anymore. I wish I did. I may want to go back to it again if I see it on sale. Maybe for a good 20 or 25 bucks. It should be, I mean, yeah, it is a big kit. But I don't know if I'll ever go back to Decycle. I don't think I'll get it this year. There's a lot of kits I want, but I can't get them because I can't buy. I don't have no room. But thinking about metallic paint jobs for the Sandrock, Heavy Arms, Sandrock, and Shenlong. Now that you piqued my interest and reminded me on it, let me do some research. What is your favorite what is your favorite real grade kit so far? There it is. Next question. And we're almost done with questions. From Z So Lazy says, question, which character is your favorite, Char Anzabal or Amuro Ray? Personally, Char Anzabal and his many spiritual clones, of course. I have to say Char. Char is more defined, more reassuring, while Amuro is Amuro. I have a question. I am doing a resin Kasartri at the moment that is going to be fully weathered. I know what I'm doing, but I am wondering why a lot of YouTube or gunpla model guys don't weather their kits. Thanks, and I enjoy your channel. Weathering is almost like an art form, because you have to figure out how you want to do it in what situation. Because remember, weathering is based on environment. Is it a desert weathering? Is it a greasy weathering? Is it a standard grind weathering? Is it snow weathering? Is it rust weathering? That you don't normally see a lot of people do it, because it is something you have to think about, something you have to plan. It takes a while to do it right. It's like, if your girlfriend is putting a lot of mascara and makeup on, she's trying to figure out the proper way to do it, but it takes time for her. So it's the same thing for us model builders. That's why you don't see that many people doing the weathering. But there is weathering tutorials out there that it covers that. You don't probably it doesn't have to fall under the Gundam theme. Look for weathering model weathering techniques on other model kits. Obviously, the most common ones are tanks. They have a lot of that. So, and planes. So use that as a point of reference, and then work your way on that. Unfortunately, I've never done weathering myself, so I'm the wrong person to ask. But I'm just giving you my interpretation and my point of view. Jamie Gomez says, "What is your favorite gunpla to build?" What was your favorite gunpla to build? Well, I could probably say, well, no, because I won that, and that's not considered favorite. So there was a lot. Oh, I have to say the master grade Sasabi that I built last year, that came out. I enjoyed that one. How intricate it was. Everything fell into place. So that was actually one of my favorite gunplas to build. Tarla Zaralaki, and maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I'll spell it out. Tarlzaralka says, so many questions I could ask, but what I have always wanted to know is, when you build your kit, are there times where you still may mess up and break apart on accident? Yes. Oh yes. I remember breaking parts and saying, shit. Or I remember breaking, a fin off the head. I think I remember snipping off the peg of a part that goes into another part, and then I realized, okay, that is necessary. Or if I accidentally step on something and I hear a crack, and I said, shit. So yes, that happens. It happens a lot, and I show it. I don't hide it. ALNA00 says, my question is, what is your best and worst building experience? My best experience, of course, was I'll have to go with Sazabi. Worst would have to be Victory Gundam Master Grade. And if you don't believe me, look at my videos. You'll see what I'm talking about. Which non-Gundam Master Grade is your favorite work? Oh God, that's a great question. PKIANJING. My favorite has to be the 1/500 scale Space Battleship Yamato 2199. I have that proudly displayed on my shelf here, being guarded by Godzillas, which I'll show a picture of that soon. But yes, that was one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Oh, and you asked another question. I can only do one question at a time, but let's see what it says here. Do you think we need to paint a Gundam model? Why not build a military model if you have the paint? They are made to paint. Do you think Gundam models are made to paint? One thing that okay, you're really going all over the place. Yes. I'll answer this as one question. Yes, Gundam models need to paint. Period. End of story. Tyler Mahal, hopefully I pronounced that right. Quick question. I'm new to airbrushing as I recently purchased an airbrush, and I would like to know how long should I wait in between coats. Good question. Very good question. I would recommend you start working on Tamiya base paints, the acrylic. It takes a little longer to dry, a good, say, hour. If you're using lacquer base paints, the lacquer is a little quicker to dry, so it's like around 30 minutes. I'm saying 30 minutes to dry, but it'll give it a good day for it to set. So when you do in between coats, if you're using the acrylic, I have to stress a little longer than half an hour to an hour. If you're using the lacquer-based paints, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. That's my perception on that and how I do it in my technique. You have to feel it out. You have to flesh it out, of course. Test it with a leftover model kit that you don't care, and see how it comes out for you. The Risen One 247 says, my first time Gundam modeler, have been a fan of the show since high school. My question is, as far as getting better at it, and which I should buy. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta read this properly again. My question is, as far as getting better at it, and which I should buy. Where do I start? Real grades, high grades, no grades? Well, that's a good question. I'll say this: you're gonna have to break a lot of eggs to make an omelet. It took me a long time for me to build my kits, to hone my craft, and you're gonna need to do the same thing too. you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall, but you're going to get up. And sooner or later, you're going to find that moment where you say, oh, so that's how it works. I didn't realize that. So I'm going to let you self-discover that. You need to make those mistakes, because eventually you're going to find it'll come out perfect for you. Last question from Jefferson Shang, also known as EXIACXA3740. Is Prime 92 he or she? Does she uses a voice filter in her videos? I'm going to answer this quite, seriously. Prime 92 is a girl. She will always be a girl, and I know she's a girl because I can tell from girls. I dated some. But yes, she is female. So please don't I'm stressing you that don't insult her, because she's not. Yes, her voice is a little different, and she does not use a voice filter. That is her pure natural voice. So there it goes. That's all the questions that you guys sent me, and I try to answer as best as I possibly can. And wow, this video took a long time for me to compile. And there you go, answering all your questions. I'll probably do this again in a few months down the road. If anybody else has a question to answer, I will answer the best questions I can on both my Facebook page and on my YouTube page when I get to you guys. I don't normally hang around my Facebook page that much, so you have to forgive me on that. But when I do, I make the best effort to answer the questions as I possibly can. So you guys got to give me some time to breathe. But I still have to thank all of you for spreading the word. I know I did not reach 10,000 subscribers if it wasn't for you guys, and I appreciate it. I very appreciate it. I will do the best as I possibly can in my kits, and hopefully to inspire you guys to do better work and maybe surpass me in every aspect, not only in Gundam building, but in life in general. Because remember, building kits is an extension of you building yourself, building your life, building certain goals that you want. If I'm able to do this, if anybody's able to do this, you guys are able to do anything you want within the realm of possibility and reason. But again, thank you very much. I'm gonna take about a week break. I'm gonna probably head to the a comic book show that is being held here in New Jersey at the end of this week. It's being sponsored by Gundam Planet, and then I'll do another video and we'll talk about the contest that I will have. Just give me some time to prepare that, and we'll go from there. So I'd like to thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more Gundam models yet to come. You guys all have a good day.